Great Zimbabwe, the ruins of a great city, the capital of the Kingdom of Zimbabwe. It's the largest stone structure in all of Africa, constructed between the 11th and 13th centuries. But there's a catch. Back then, there were no tractors, cranes, or cement mixers, just men with picks, shovels, and sheer determination. Nobody knows how they did it, which is why historians are still scratching their heads over it. Well, that and the fact that nobody knows where everyone went. One day the city was bustling with activity, and the next it was abandoned. So here's why Great Zimbabwe still shocks historians. It's me, number 3, the mystery of its construction. If we know anything about the ancient builders of Great Zimbabwe, it's that they were experts in dry stone walls. That means they didn't use mortar or mud between the stones. They simply fitted them together so precisely that you can barely fit a sheet of paper in between. These dry stone structures are known as Zimbabwean walls. They can be found all over southern Africa. Some scholars believe they were first constructed between the 400s and 600s AD. But the city of Great Zimbabwe was definitely built between the 11th and 13th centuries. We don't know who built it, or how they managed to move giant granite boulders weighing several tons. But some historians speculate that skilled engineers planned out every single rock's placement. This allowed builders to stack stones much higher with less effort. Today, archaeologists are baffled by the engineering marvel. Though some believe the techniques may have been lost to time, others aren't convinced. They argue that new technologies may reveal the secrets behind these ancient megaliths, if not the civilization that built them. And speaking of lost civilizations, some people disappear from history for a variety of reasons, like being wiped out by a natural disaster or succumbing to a pandemic. But the Inca Empire vanished from the face of the earth after the Spanish conquest of Peru in the 16th century. They literally disappeared overnight, and nobody knows exactly what happened to them. Number 2, the missing people. All throughout Great Zimbabwe, you'll find evidence of a prosperous trade network. Archaeologists uncovered gold ornaments, cowrie shells, beads, and other small goods from East Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, Madagascar, China, Southeast Asia. All this stuff shows that the builders of Great Zimbabwe were wealthy. But wealth doesn't always translate to happiness. Ancient city dwellers had very little access to clean water, proper medical care, and sanitation systems, not to mention the threat of famine. Those problems are still relevant today, which is why more than 800 million people around the world still live in slums. Luckily for us, at least 80% of those people will likely live to see another century. But for many of our ancestors, that wasn't the case. Take the Inca people, for example. At the time of the Spanish conquest, they numbered approximately 8 million people. But within 150 years, their population dropped to just 1.5 million. Historians estimate that 90% of the Inca population was wiped out, mostly by diseases brought over by Europeans such as smallpox. But Inca society continued for another 100 years. So what happened to the remaining 10%? Unfortunately, the exact fate of the last Inca is unknown, but historians think a combination of disease, conquest, and intermarriage led to their disappearance. For now, their fate remains a mystery, but that's nothing compared to the fate of the universe. In the 1930s, German engineers developed a device that would change the course of history forever. Known as Enigma, the machine used a series of rotors to mix letters and numbers, turning plain text into a jumble of characters that was nearly impossible to decipher. The Nazis used it extensively during World War II, encrypting top-secret communications that could make or break the war. In the wrong hands, Enigma could spell doom for the entire planet. But fortunately, Britain's best code breakers rose to the challenge. No, one, Alan Turing. Alan Turing was one of the most brilliant mathematicians and logicians of his time. He was also gay in a time when homosexuality was illegal and could get you locked up in prison. Turing struggled with his identity until he met another mathematician named Donald Wiles. Together, They set about cracking the Enigma code. Their efforts eventually led to the creation of the bomb machine, an early computer that could test thousands of possibilities at lightning speed. On June 18, 1942, Turing and his team successfully deciphered the Enigma code. Thanks to his efforts, the Allies were able to avoid countless ambushes and turn the tide of the war in their favor. Winston Churchill even credited Turing with shortening the war by 2 years and saving countless lives. After the war ended, Turing returned to academia, where he made groundbreaking contributions to artificial intelligence. Sadly, his career was cut short in 1954 when he was convicted of gross indecency for his relationship with a man. But Turing's legacy lives on today in everything from smartphones to self-driving cars. His contributions to the field of computer science helped usher humanity into the digital age. And thanks to his code-breaking efforts, he quite literally saved the world. But that raises a big question. Can you imagine a world without computers or the internet? Without Turing, that might have been our reality. What if? You know what else might have been different if the Inca Emperor hadn't gotten sick? What if he'd stayed in power? How would South America's history have changed? Or what if the builders of Great Zimbabwe had left behind written records of their engineering feats? Would we be using the same building techniques today? Well, maybe not, but one thing's for sure. We wouldn't be in the digital age. Not without Alan Turing. For more explosive historical tales, stay tuned. Did you learn anything new in this video? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, check out this video over here, which has a lot of explosive history of its own. Thanks for watching.